is looking real sick with this YSL case. So, news came out that Young Thug actually told his brother, unfoonk, to plead out. So he told his brother to plead out because he said their mama don't want both of their sons locked up behind bars at the same time. And somebody needs to be there to help the family and keep the family on their feet. So if you want your brother unfoonk to take a plea, can we say that Gunna and all the rest of the members that took a plea, they didn't have the right to take a plea? They have family on the outside. Their loved ones need to be taken care of also. I mean, that's a dangerous game. So right now, what's going to end up happening is everybody's going to take a plea because they're going to look at it like, hey, Young Thug, he don't care about nobody but his family. He want his brother to take a plea, but then he want the rest of us to sit back down here with him and take it to trial and get a heap of time. And that's not right. I want you guys to tell me in the comments, what do you think about it? Because all of them, if they did the crime, they should do the time together. You can't pick and choose and say, oh, well, I want my brother to take a plea deal, but I want everybody else to sit back here with me. And if they don't sit back here with me, we're going to call them a snitch or call them a rat. You know, you only get one life to live, and you got to live it the way you see fit to live it. So, yeah, we can ask ourselves, was Gunna wrong? Was the rest of the YSL members wrong? If Young Thug wants his brother to take a plea because his mother don't want both her kids locked up at the same time. So it's been multiple people that took plea deals already, 6 and counting. And after that news came out, and actually Young Thug brother, White 100, he went on Clubhouse and he said, hey, Young Thug told his brother to take a plea deal. So by Young Thug telling his brother to take a plea deal, his brother jumped in DJ Academic's page and he said, basically champion what White 100 said, like, yeah, my brother did tell me to take a plea deal. So now people is gonna really look at that and be like, wow. So you want everybody to just sit back here with you and rock, but you want your brother to take a plea. And your brother good, your brother gonna continue to get praise in the streets, but everybody else, they're not. So like I said, it's 6 to finish already. We have the co-founder that co-founded YSL with Young Thug. We also have Gunna. We all know Gunna Wanna, Mr. P. Then we also have Obama. Obama was the last defendant that took a plea, but he copped out to 15 years probation for attempted murder and murder charge. Now 15 years of probation, that's a long time, which means if you get caught in the middle of any act within that 15 years, you would be recommended back to prison for the remainder of the time. So think about it. With these guys that's been in the street their whole life, do you think they actually can go 15 years being under the radar? And they also have a curfew. So I think it's from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night that they can be on the streets. So we'll see how that work out for Obama. Then we have Slime Life Shorty. Now, when you look at the message that Slime Life Shorty sent, like, hey, how could I tell on him if the co-founder already told? So he took him a plea. Was he wrong for taking him a plea? Slime Life Shorty? Because I'm pretty sure he really didn't have too much to do with anything. So is it okay for Young Thug brother to take a plea and Slime Life Shorty to take it to trial? I mean, these other guys, they have family members. So it's somebody in their ear as well, like, no, baby, I need you to come home. Let Young Thug go down there and do what he need to do for himself. And then we have YSL Woody. Woody, he went on social media and said free Thug and posted a picture and said free Slime, he's innocent, after being willing to cooperate against Young Thug, and he was actually a domino that started this whole thing off. So I try to tell kids, man, stay out the streets. The streets ain't where you want to be, and it's always favoritism in the streets. When I say favoritism, I meant like, hey, so Young Thug brother, he can take the plea deal, but everybody else, they can't. That's favoritism. Then we have YSL Duke. YSL Duke, I think he was the third one to plea out. He plead and he on. See, what it's looking like is they want Young Thug. They don't care about anybody else. They'll give you probation because they know you're gonna violate it eventually. And also, they just wanted to tarnish your name. So when you get back to the streets, it's not gonna be too many people willing to work with you or willing to deal with you. So the prosecution, they knew what they was doing, and they said, hey, do you want your freedom or do you want to be locked up for 20 plus years? Because we're going to get Young Thug, but now it's on you. Do you want to remain silent, take it to trial, and we give you 30, or do you want to take this plea? And most times, 9 times out of 10, the person's going to take that plea. I mean, they'll stick around for a couple of months to see how things playing out. But once one person starts taking plea deals, it's a domino effect. It's every man for themselves. You got to get how you live. Like I said, you only got one life to live. But the crazy part about it was how everybody did Young 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine. When Tekashi 6ix9ine was going through his legal court battles, and when he did what he did, everybody had something to say about it. People wasn't quiet. People wasn't pushing anything up under the rug. All the celebrities and the stars were speaking on top Tekashi 6ix9ine. So why is it's not the same energy for the YSL members? So Tekashi put up posts saying it's quiet now. Why is it so quiet? And I understand that, because Tekashi, he basically did the same thing, but he had a broader stage because he's a bigger artist than any artist from YSL. I don't even think Gunna was big as Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now I know Young Thug was big as Tekashi 6ix9ine, but it just shows favoritism again. People didn't want to do music with Tekashi 6ix9ine anymore. They talked about him everywhere, every day. Couldn't let it breathe. So why isn't it the same thing with this case? But see, Young Thug really hurt himself by saying that he told his brother unfoonk to take a plea deal. That's gonna cause multiple other YSL members to plead out. If they wasn't gonna plead out before, once that news hit the block, they definitely gonna plead out. And like I said, the family members gonna be like, hey, well, he told his brother to plead out, so you need to plead out. And that's how it goes, man. Like I say, it's no love in these streets. It's no love in the game. It's all good until it hit the fan. And like the famous words of finesse 2 times, it's cool when you do it. It's a problem when I do it. F it. So we know what that means. What's good for the gander is supposed to be good for the goose. But it's not like that anymore in these streets. Well, it's never been like that. You can look at the mafia, the Italian guys that started the gangster things. And what happens with them? They go down there and they tell on each other. And they started the no snitching campaign, but they tell on each other. So it's just sad that the youth got to go through this and see it this way. I learned a long time ago, it's better just to stand on your own as a man than to get in groups with 10 and 15 other guys, because everybody not going to do the same thing that you're going to do, and they're not going to be held to the same accountability as you're going to do. So I'm sorry to say it, but it's looking real bad for Young Thug, man. I wish him the best, but it's not looking good, and everybody's taking pleas now. So we're going to see how this thing plays out, but it's never no good at this. So kids, man, I need y'all to stay out the streets. Stay in school. Go play a sport. Go try to be a lawyer, a doctor, or even the police. But this has to stop, and it has to stop today. Checking and jiving TV, and we out.